Hello there. Welcome to our Olympic Roundtable. I am joined by three-time Olympian Dominique+Dawes and FoxSports.com's Jason Whitlock. We've called this kind of the social media games. And there's a great thing about social media. There's a fantastic use for Twitter in terms of how connected we are. There's also a very evil, ugly side of Twitter. Gabby Douglas has a historic evening, and there should be all this warm, fuzzy, loving feelings. And one of the first things that kind of develops on Twitter, the conversation turns into Gabby and her. Who wants to take it?
Hair, which is appropriate, or I'm actually kind of glad that we're having a discussion because she's so pure and innocent that she can't be attacked. And so it speaks to how foolish we are for having this discussion and for black women being so defined by their hair. I think it makes it clear as day that we have a problem in the African-American community about our hair.
And we do. Unfortunately, our self-esteem many times is wrapped up in our hair. I know a lot of African-American women, including myself, when my hair was relaxed, I did not like working out. When I was training for those 3 Olympic Games, I was constantly sweating. My hair was relaxed, so it would be dry and brittle because of the relaxer. I didn't want to get into pools because the chlorine mixed with the chemical treated hair does not make it look good whatsoever. And that's what people have been attacking little Gabby Douglas about. And it's sad that it's not on her achievement and her performance, and it's more on the appearance of her hair. But I must say this. If she focused on her hair, she would not have made history. When I was training, I did not focus on my hair. And if I would have been more wrapped up in my appearance and what I look like, and if my hair looked perfect, I would not have been in the gym day in and day out, 5 to 7 hours a day, training, trying to make 3 different Olympic teams.
Because most 16-year-olds, that is what they're concentrating on. Were you surprised? As much as I want to say we're never surprised anymore, but like you said, Jason, and wrote a fantastic column about it on FoxSports.com, it's a 16-year-old girl.
No, I'm not surprised because Twitter is that kind of abusive and mean-spirited. But I want to help people that, particularly white people, that may not understand this issue and why it's such an important issue and why the First Lady, Michelle Obama, has been on this push about activity. I'm speaking as an overweight person. We have a health crisis in the African-American community, and it's particularly acute with African-American women, and some of it is related to their hair. They're afraid to exercise because they don't want to sweat and hurt their hair.
Because you're spending it can be thousands of dollars
yes.
on your hair.
It's a $9 billion industry.
Yeah.
Straightening out our hair.
Yeah, it's what we call the creamy crack. It's relaxers. It makes your hair straighter. It goes for that European look. And I must say that last year when I turned 35, I went through a liberating and empowering experience by finally going natural. And I wish I would have done it sooner. I would not have cared about sweating my hair out, would not have cared about jumping in the pool. And like Jason said, he's right. A number of women will not work out because they don't want to sweat that perm out. They spend so much money. Nowadays it's about $120+ to get your hair relaxed. $120. They don't want to sweat their hair out, so they're not going to go work out, and they're not going to jump in the pool. And it's a shame because it really is costing us African-American women our health.
Okay, well, one of the things I love about this, we could sit here and turn this into a Twitter rant, which we're not. I love that you said that it's actually putting this in the spotlight and having a conversation. So let me ask you both this, starting with you. As people are going, what are they talking about with her hair? What would you want people to learn from this conversation?
Well, I would just want people to learn that, number one, it shouldn't come down to Gabby Douglas's appearance. I think she's a beautiful little girl. I didn't see a problem with her hair whatsoever. She beat out the top Russians in the world. That's what it should be about, the fact that this young girl is the first and only African-American to win not only a team gold, but also an all-around gold medal. It's about the impact she's going to make that way by her achievements, not by her appearance. But then when it comes to hair, I do think African-American women need to think about stop relaxing their hair as well as stop relaxing their young daughters' hairs. And it's not just African women, it's also Hispanic women that have wavy and sometimes more coarse hair as well. Get rid of the relaxers and really go natural. It's very liberating, it's empowering, and you won't have your self-esteem wrapped up in your hair.
Something you men don't have to worry about, by the way.
90% of this, 99% of this is on us. The only thing I would say,
that's a good point.
The only thing I would say to the majority community is sometimes when we were kids, white people would want to touch our hair and act like it was some big deal that our hair was different. That would be the only advice I would probably give to white people. Quit doing that. You're messing with people's self-esteem. I love your hair. You know, listen, we were talking before. One of the things that I try to explain to black women sometimes is that perm smells so terrible. It makes your pillow smell terrible. I'm just trying to keep it real. It makes sleeping in bed with you, it's tough. Go natural. It's better.
It is better, and speaking from someone that was permed since I was about 10 years old, my mom permed my hair. We started off with the S-curl. We were talking about that. He had an S-curl. I want to see a photo of that. That'll be awesome.
My mother was a kitchen beautician.
Okay.
She was very good.
So she can send us photos.
Yes.
But I had the S-curl, then went to a perm, and did not know the texture of my hair. I always thought it was dry and brittle because at that time, that's what my mom told me. That's what my hairstylist told me later on in life. And it wasn't until my most recent hairstylist said, hey, you have curly hair. It's beautiful. It's full. You should try to go natural with it. I finally went natural, have embraced it. I think it takes a while for other people that have always seen me with my hair straightened to embrace it. But you know what? It's more liberating. It's empowering. And I encourage more African-American women, Hispanic women to do exactly the same thing.
Chris Rock did a great documentary called Good Hair in 2009. One of the things he said was echoing yours, which was so wonderful about we want to be able to run our fingers through your beautiful hair. So I loved that.
I don't think that would still happen. Good luck.
Without breaking it is what we'd like. You just like to touch the hair without breaking
your hands or my hair?
Both.
How do you think Gabby's handling this? Do you think it's kind of the focus that you talked about, that she's able to just kind of dismiss and have all these wonderful things that she's enjoying, or she's 16 years old?
She is 16 years old, and she tweets quite often, and I bet you she has read a number of these messages, and I hope that she does not take the messages seriously. I know people that will read tweets or go on message boards and listen to what people are saying about them, good, bad, and indifferent, and they will react to that. Their self-esteem will be caught up in that. I hope that this doesn't make her think less of her hair or less of herself. She should be focused on the amazing achievement she's done by making history and making all of us proud, and now the impact that she's going to make on the rest of these young kids following in her footsteps.
As part of our sexist society, I consider myself a part of that. We're so brutal to women of all colors about their appearance. Dominique's too nice to say it, but she had a teammate who ended up having a nose job because she got so much negative feedback in '96 about the size of her nose. It's what we do to young women is awful. And, as men, we have to check ourselves. And Twitter, trust me, I'm one of these guys on Twitter that has a big sense of humor, is always cracking jokes. And I need to check myself. And sometimes we all need to check ourselves.
Are we going to see a softer side?
No,
just
on
we just
camera.
Did.
I'm trying.
And succeeding. That was nice. That was a great conversation. Thank you both. And thank you for watching. Keep it logged down right here to foxsports.com.